The other piece, I mean, it's like I keep waiting for shoes to drop, right? It's like, metaphorically speaking. You look out at the world situation and you think, okay, if we're on the edge of another worldwide Great Depression, and if we're on the edge of another world war, and both are possible. I mean, it's also possible that we're on the edge of 1,000 years of peace and economic prosperity and security. It would require us to take our country back from the billionaires and corporations that have completely or largely taken control of our political process, which is why I don't believe it. But, you could make a case. But anyhow, you look around and say, what started World War I? What started World War I was all these countries that were having low to moderate levels of tension with each other, having agreements, mutual defense agreements. So, if somebody attacks you, it's as if they attacked me, and we will join you in fighting back. And so, when Archduke Ferdinand was assassinated in Sarajevo, it was seen as the Serbs against the Austro-Hungarians. And then, from there, it went to, it must be the Serbs against the Russians. And or the Germans rather. Now that the Germans are involved, while the Serbs are on the side of the Russians. So it must be the Russians against and pretty soon you got World War I going on. World War II, you had a couple of death cults. The Japanese death cult being run by Emperor Hirohito and Tojo, the notorious Japanese general. And in Germany, you had a death cult being run by Adolf Hitler. And then there were some hangers on to those death cults. You had Mussolini and you had Franco. And as countries fell, you had the Vichy government in France and you had the Nazi government in Norway. And I mean, they're still dealing with some of these people. So, this is what brought us to World War twice in the last century. Are there similarities? No. Are there countries that are facing each other with substantial tension who have mutual defense alliances with other countries that don't necessarily view those countries as allies? And for that matter, within the countries that are allies, are we seeing alliances start to disintegrate? Well, here's some shoes dropping for you. The Russian-speaking or pro-Russian or whatever you want to call it, pro-independence, I would even say, people in the east of Ukraine who don't want to become part of Russia. They just want to have autonomy. They want to stay part of Ukraine, but they want to be able to elect a local governor, basically. This is what they have been saying all along. We just want federalism. We want it like you have in the United States. We want to be a state. Right now in Kiev, the federal government appoints not just the governor of the state, but also the mayors of the cities. They have no representation. So you've got that going on, and they just, and these rebels just took another major city. And the Ukrainians are pulling back. And so, okay, what are we going to do? The United States and Western Europe, by and large, started this thing by supporting a coup that overthrew a democratically elected president. I can go back to Victoria Nuland's tapes. Well, I don't want to relitigate the Ukraine. The point is that, or Ukraine, excuse me. Point is that that's a serious possible ignition point for a world war. We are taking on Russia via proxy in Ukraine. Similarly, we're taking on China by proxy via Japan and South Korea and and Taiwan, particularly given some of the disputes over territory in both cases. But in third, perhaps most importantly, we're taking on pretty much everybody in the Middle East. And you've got, these right-wingers trying to make the situation even worse. Then within Europe, You've got the European Union starting to disintegrate. Greece, on tomorrow, Greece has to pay, I think, $5 billion on the $300 billion in loans that they've got from various EU banksters and countries. And they're saying, can we just extend that 6 months? And the Germans just said, no. Not going to do it. Naughty child. This could easily be a flashpoint. So any of these things, in my mind, could arguably trigger World War III. And then there's some things, that could make it even, far, far worse. We're messing in Russia's backyard. We're giving billions of dollars to a government that Russia doesn't view as legitimate in Ukraine to prop them up and to militarily supply them. What if Russia did that? We had a caller in the last about 25 minutes ago, who asked this question. What if Russia said to Greece, we'll pick up those debts that you have to the EU. You owe the EU $300 billion. Cool. Here's $300 billion. Pay them off and join us. Become part of the new Eastern Bloc of trading rather than the Western Bloc, rather than the European Union. How do you think Europe would respond? It's just, I don't think they're going to do that. I think that would be really, really, really inadvisable.